They say family always has your back, but sometimes the knife comes from those closest to you. I'm Elena Martinez, born in 1949 in bustling Chicago. Back in 2024, at 75, I discovered my own son plotting to destroy me. I felt shattered, but then something happened that changed everything. Today, sitting in my beautiful new home, I'm finally sharing this because every woman deserves to know her worth. If you're listening, drop your location below and hit that subscribe button. It started 3 months after my sister Carmen's funeral. We hadn't spoken in 20 years over some petty argument I can't even remember now. Her lawyer called with shocking news saying she'd left me everything. $2 million. I nearly dropped the phone. After living modestly on Social Security, suddenly I had more money than I'd ever dreamed of. My son Marcus insisted I move in with him and his wife Diana in their suburban Denver home. "Mom, you shouldn't be alone with all that money," he said, his voice dripping with false concern. "We'll take care of everything." Something felt off, but I was grieving and confused. I packed my few belongings and moved into their spare bedroom, thinking family meant safety. The first red flag came when Diana started asking pointed questions about my inheritance. "Elena, have you thought about investing? Marcus knows a great financial advisor." She'd hover whenever I made phone calls, always finding excuses to be nearby. When I mentioned wanting to travel to Spain, something Carmen and I had planned as children, Diana's face darkened. "At your age? That's dangerous, Elena. You should be more practical." Weeks passed in their sterile house where I felt like an unwelcome guest. Diana would sigh dramatically when I used the kitchen, muttering about extra groceries and utility bills. Marcus, once my loving boy who used to bring me dandelions, now seemed distant and calculating. They'd have hushed conversations that stopped when I entered rooms. I started feeling invisible, like a burden they were barely tolerating. The breaking point came on a Tuesday night in November. I couldn't sleep and wandered to the kitchen for warm milk. Their bedroom door was cracked open, and I heard Diana's sharp whisper, "She's getting suspicious, Marcus. We need to move faster." My blood turned to ice as I pressed closer to listen. "The state facility has an opening next month," Marcus replied. "Once we get power of attorney, we can move her there and manage her money properly. She's too old to handle it anyway." Diana's laugh was cruel. $2 million, Marcus. We could pay off the house, get new cars, maybe that boat you wanted. She'll never know the difference in that place. "I feel bad about it," Marcus said weakly. "Don't be ridiculous. She's lived her life. This is our time. Besides, she won't last long in state care." Problem solved. I stumbled backward, my heart hammering so loud I was sure they'd hear it. My own son, my baby boy I'd raised alone after his father left, was planning to steal my inheritance and dump me in some horrible facility to die. The betrayal cut deeper than any physical pain I'd ever experienced. I spent the rest of that night sitting on my bed, staring at the wall, processing their words. Every kind gesture, every concern for my well-being, but it was all manipulation. They saw me as nothing more than an obstacle to their financial dreams. The woman who had worked double shifts as a nurse to put Marcus through college, who had sacrificed everything for his happiness, was now just a problem to be solved. By dawn I'd made my decision. I quietly packed my essentials into 2 suitcases, moving like a ghost through their house. I called my old friend Rosa, who lived in Colorado Springs. "I need help," I whispered into the phone. "Can you pick me up?" Rosa arrived within 2 hours, no questions asked. That's what real family does. As we drove away from Marcus's house, I felt a mixture of heartbreak and liberation. I was 75 years old, starting over completely, but I was free from their toxic web. "Where to, Elena?" Rosa asked gently. "Somewhere they'll never find me," I replied. watching their house disappear in the rearview mirror. Somewhere I can finally live for myself. The inheritance money was still safely in my original bank account. Marcus and Diana had been so confident in their manipulation, they hadn't rushed to get legal control yet. Their arrogance would be their downfall. I had escaped with my dignity and my fortune intact, but the real journey was just beginning. Rosa drove me straight to her cozy apartment in Colorado Springs, where I spent 3 days planning my next move. I wasn't just running away, I was running toward something better. My first call was to a lawyer Rosa recommended, a sharp woman named Patricia who specialized in elder law. "Mrs. Martinez," she said after hearing my story, "we need to protect your assets immediately." Within a week, I had a new bank account at a different institution, a will that explicitly excluded Marcus and Diana, and legal documents ensuring they could never gain control over my finances. Patricia also helped me research luxury senior communities. "You deserve to live like a queen," she said firmly. "Don't let anyone make you feel guilty about spending your own money." I found Sunset Manor, an upscale senior living community in Fort Collins, about 2 hours from Marcus's house, far enough to feel safe, close enough to handle any legal issues. The place was gorgeous. Marble lobbies, gourmet dining, a spa, library, and gardens that reminded me of European estates. The monthly fee was substantial, but I had $2 million. Why shouldn't I live beautifully? Moving day felt like Christmas morning. My new apartment had a mountain view, modern kitchen, and enough space for all the furniture I'd always wanted but never bought. For the first time in decades, I decorated exactly how I pleased: bright colors, family photos from happier times, and fresh flowers everywhere. Marcus called my old phone number repeatedly, but I'd changed it. When he finally tracked down Rosa, she told him exactly what I'd instructed. "Your mother knows what you planned. She's safe, and she's done with both of you." The confrontation came 3 weeks later. Marcus showed up at Sunset Manor, looking desperate and angry. Security called me before letting him up. I met him in the elegant lobby, wearing a new dress and feeling stronger than I had in years. "Mom, what the hell is this?" he demanded, gesturing around the luxurious space. "Rosa said you heard something, but you misunderstood." "I misunderstood nothing," I interrupted, my voice steady and cold. "I heard every word about the state facility, about managing my money, about me not lasting long. Did you really think I was that senile?" His face crumbled. "Mom, we were just worried about you." "Worried about my money, you mean?" "Marcus, I worked my entire life. I sacrificed everything for you. And you repaid me by planning to steal from me and abandon me to die in some horrible place." "It wasn't like that." "It was exactly like that. Diana made it very clear this was about the boat you wanted and paying off your house. My life meant nothing to either of you." He tried to grab my hands, but I stepped back. "Mom, please." Diana left me. She took half our savings and moved back to her mother's. "I need help." "And there it is," I said, feeling a surge of bitter satisfaction. "Your partner in crime abandoned you, so now you want Mommy to fix everything." "Well, Marcus, I'm done being your safety net." "But I'm your son." "You stopped being my son the night you planned to throw me away like garbage. Real sons don't plot their mother's destruction for money." I turned and walked toward the elevator, leaving him standing there. It was the hardest thing I'd ever done, but also the most necessary. Some bridges need to burn completely. Life at Sunset Manor transformed me. I joined the book club, started taking art classes, and made friends with women who had fascinating stories. Margaret had been a war correspondent, Susan owned a chain of restaurants, and Dorothy had traveled to 60 countries. We called ourselves the Silver Rebels and planned adventures together. 6 months after leaving Marcus's house, I booked a trip to Spain, the journey Carmen and I had dreamed about as children. Margaret and Susan decided to join me. We spent 3 weeks exploring Madrid, Barcelona, and Seville, eating incredible food, touring museums, and laughing until our sides hurt. I scattered some of Carmen's ashes in a beautiful garden in Granada, finally giving her the adventure she'd wanted. Marcus tried reaching out several times through mutual friends, but I wasn't ready. Maybe someday we could rebuild something, but it would have to be on my terms with complete honesty and respect. Diana, I learned, had indeed left him for someone with more money. Karma has a beautiful sense of timing. I invested wisely, keeping enough to live comfortably while setting aside funds for travel and experiences. I donated to causes I cared about: elder abuse prevention, nursing scholarships, and women's shelters. My money was finally serving purposes that mattered to me. A year later, sitting in my beautiful apartment with my chosen family of friends, I realized something profound. I had never been happier. At 76, I was living authentically for the first time in decades. I wasn't someone's burden or someone's meal ticket. I was Elena Martinez, a woman of means and independence. The inheritance Carmen left me wasn't just money, it was freedom. Freedom from toxic relationships, from feeling worthless, from accepting crumbs when I deserved the whole feast. Sometimes the greatest gift isn't what people give you, but what they reveal about themselves, allowing you to choose better. If you're watching this and feeling trapped by family who don't value you, remember, you deserve respect, love, and dignity at every age. Don't let anyone convince you otherwise. Like this video if my story resonated with you, subscribe for more real-life stories, and share this with someone who needs to hear it. Comment below about your own experiences with family betrayal. You're not alone in this journey. Moral lesson: sometimes life's cruelest betrayals become doorways to our greatest freedom, teaching us that self-love blooms beautifully in any season.